So tip number three, I call the intersection. This has been an especially powerful tool I found in working with adults and youth in particular. So if you have any teenage kids that you'd like to communicate with or maybe improve those communication skills, especially when things are emotionally intense, this one could be really helpful for you. So just give me 1 second and I'm gonna share my screen with you, which will give you a chance to sort of, so there's a step-by-step process in terms of how we do this. Um, so here you should see the intersection and the steps 1 through 5 as to how we would go about this. So the very first step is just to listen non-judgmentally. I think it's really valuable to consider that as parents, one of the first things that we always want to do when our kids come to us with a problem of any kind is to fix it. Seeing your child suffer or be in any pain whatsoever or struggling is a really difficult thing for any parent to manage. So we often jump into problem solving really, really quickly. And then sometimes you may have heard even before the kid might say, you don't understand, or you don't get it, or leave me alone. And as a general rule, in my opinion, that's usually because we've gone into problem solving mode too quickly. So the very first thing to do is listen without judgment so that you can really have a good understanding of what the problem actually is. And even if you feel judgments brewing in your head about like, I don't like this and this wasn't your fault or this is your fault or whatever that is, keep them at bay for now. You want to keep the judgments to yourself. The second step is to validate and reflect the problem back to the person. So make sure you've got it right. I understand this is what's going on for you. Do I have that right? It makes sense that you would feel that way, even if you don't agree with it. See if you want to communicate that it makes sense that the experience that they're having is real, and that maybe if you were in those shoes, you would feel the same way. Step number 3 is to identify the intersection and its options. So this is the point where you would say like, okay, my gut reaction is I want to jump into this and get this solved for you and make this better for you. I think I'll take a step back though and see what you really want me to do. So at this intersection, I could either hang a right here, make a right hand turn, and go into problem solving mode, and you and I will work together to figure this out. Or I could take a left and I'm just here to listen and I'll be your sounding board. And I don't need to solve the problem for you because I believe in your ability to solve your own problems, and I'm just here to help if you need it. So it's very empowering to ask anyone what they want you to do, especially for a youth or an adolescent who's used to you doing a lot of the problem solving in their childhood before, to hear them or to hear you say, I believe in your ability to solve your own problems is really, really powerful. And in particular, that kid gets a vote on how you respond. If it lets them know and it communicates that you believe in their options and that they'll make a good choice for themselves. The next step, step 4, is that you ask which way you're going to want to go. So you identify in step 3, I could go this way or that way. And step 4 is, what do you want me to do here? I'm going to go whichever way you direct me. Step number 5 is to loop back as needed. So lots of times a youth might say, you know, this is what I want. I just want you to listen. And as you go through the process, it might end up looking like actually what they're looking for is help in problem solving. So you may want to loop back and say, it sounds like maybe you want me to kind of move into trying to figure this out with you and try to help solve this problem. Do I have that right? And check back. So we're going to make the right turn now instead of the left. Do I have that right? Or vice versa, you've gone into problem solving mode because that's what they thought they needed, but really all they wanted was an empathetic and validating ear to listen to them. So check back and make sure that you're on the right path frequently. Sometimes 1 minute a teenager wants one thing and the next minute they want something different. And that's true for really all of us actually. So not just for teenagers, but things change especially quick for teens that are evolving really quickly. So just a good little tidbit to consider, and that is particularly useful when you're dealing with youth and trying to communicate and try to help move through things that could be a little bit difficult for them. I hope you find that helpful, and just keep the intersection in mind and how powerful it is to ask anyone, but in particular teenagers, how can I help here? Which way do you want me to go?